show, everyone. IGN Live from Comic-Con, presented by the all-new LG G4. It's time to talk about the future of Marvel Comics, and who better to tell us all about it than the heads of Marvel, Tom and Axel. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
How you doing? Good to be here.
I'm great. All right, spill it. Tell us all your plans.
Well, I know about that. Well, last week you guys did reveal the all-new, all-different Marvel catalog, all the titles. At least most of them, we're assuming.
Some of them.
Some of them. Okay.
There's more to come.
We're on the way.
Good
cool.
percentage.
And there was a lot of strong fan reactions. What's it like coming to Comic-Con and seeing the fans react to the big changes?
Well, I think the Marvel fans in general, while they can be sort of shocked or stunned by change, are really good at embracing change, because that's really kind of what the Marvel brand has been about. We don't go but a couple of months before we change something up or shift something. And I think our readers are used to feeling that way. And even if it kind of knocks them for a loop a little bit when they first hear about it or first see it, we've had a really good success at turning those kind of naysayers into fans who then get unhappy when we change it again, into something else.
Sure.
But the conventions are like a cold dose of reality, because it's nothing like the internet. You just come here, and you get nothing but love.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. It's harder to be that mean in person.
It is, yeah.
A book that has my eye on it is Extraordinary X-Men, which I can't believe we haven't had an Extraordinary X-Men title before now. But I suppose there's like this fan theory out there that like Marvel's trying to replace the X-Men with the Inhumans. And from what I understand, this book, the first conflict for the X-Men is that they're butting heads with the Inhumans. So is that your way of sort of addressing that like conspiracy theory?
It's a bit meta, yeah. I think we're aware of the complaints, but it's like, look, all these people out there saying you're going to cancel X-Men. We cancel X-Men, I'm out of a job. The X-Men they're part of they're deeply woven into the mythology of Marvel Comics. And, as we said, today at the panel elsewhere is that, there's clouds on the horizon. It's going to be a little bit harder for mutants and Inhumans to coexist.
On the other hand, I'll kill the Fantastic Four like that.
Okay. But yeah, people were saying, they canceled Fantastic Four, but really it was one of many comics ending before Secret War, is that right?
Again, we kind of, once those rumors started, we kind of steered into it by doing that whole 4 countdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended at exactly the same time as every other title we had ended going into Secret Wars.
And remember, we canceled Thor for 6 years at one point, right?
Yeah.
Now she's back and better than ever.
Exactly.
So another big question that people have. Actually, I think we had a social question.
We do have a
about
social
it.
question.
Can we whip that out?
This is from the IGN community. I have this on my phone here. Bring this out.
No, I'm scared.
All right, here we go. This reads, so, Spider-Woman is pregnant. What the heck? Not really a question, as much of an exclamation, but...
When a man and a woman love each other very, very much.
Yeah, a man and a Spider-Woman.
Oh, hey. So what's going on with it? For those who don't know, Spider-Woman we get this look at her cover. She's looks like 8 months pregnant almost.
She could just have gained a lot of weight.
Look, one of the things is we're in the midst of a big event called Secret Wars, and when it's over, the Marvel Universe is transformed. But we challenged all of our creative teams, our writers and artists, when they were launching their issue 1, to think about, to imagine 8 months had passed since the events in Secret War and your issue 1. And think of something that happened in the lives of your characters. It could be small, could be big, could be pregnancy.
Or, in comics, I'm not even sure if that's a child. It could be like an alien or like a demon or something, so anything could happen.
Exactly.
The first issue will set the table.
Cool. I cannot wait to read that one. Figure out what the heck is going on. Another question I have for you guys is Daredevil. Charles Soule and forgive me, the artist Ron Garney are on that title now, and it seems to be taking a step away from sort of the more optimistic run that Mark Waid was doing with Chris Samney. So what's the reason for that tone change?
Well, in publishing, we dance our own drum beat. We're supposed to do what we want to do, but I'd be lying if I said that we weren't a little bit influenced by the Netflix, which was outstanding.
It's really good,
and again, it's time. Mark and Chris Samney and all the artists that have been working on that book for so long have given you a rich, but more of a superheroic Daredevil. And I think what you're going to see with Charles and Ron doing is a head-first dive into noir again. And from the little bit of fan reaction we've gotten, I think people are very excited.
Cool. And the suit also redesigned. I like that it had the hand wraps back on.
Yeah, that's. It harkens back to Matt's boxer past, but also again a little bit of what worked about the character in the Netflix show.
Yeah. Also, while we're talking about comics and other media, it's hard to ignore the fact that Spider-Man is now back in the Marvel movie sandbags. How excited are you guys to have Spider-Man back?
For us, it's like he never left.
Well, of course.
In the comics, he's always been there. But I think it's great. I think it's great that we're going to see Spidey get to interact with Iron Man or Thor or Captain America or whomever in the course of the next few Marvel films, and have a new Marvel film of his own, which, again, not to take anything away from any of the past Spider-Man movies, but hopefully our guys, Kevin Feige and his crew, will bring the same kind of love of the characters and their ability to drill down to the core values and core ideas of the Marvel stuff and really get it across in 2 hours on the screen.
Sure.
So I think my hopes at least are pretty high.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a day when Peter Parker and Miles Morales can share screen time.
Oh, my
go.
goodness.
There you go.
No,
Imagine
me too.
a world like that.
That would be great. My goodness. Wow. Well, actually, speaking of Miles Morales, he's continuing on in the Marvel Universe. I suppose the question is, because he used to be in the Ultimate Universe, he's now in the main Marvel Universe, what I'm assuming is the main Marvel Universe. What happens to his supporting cast? They're so integral to him.
It's a crazy thing, isn't it? Anything could happen at the end of Secret Wars.
Okay.
But, Brian and Sarah Pichelli, the artist who originated the design for Miles, are both coming over to do the new series. And we've talked with them, and we kind of, I think, have an understanding as to what makes that character and that world of his function and work. And so we're not going to leave him, divorced from the things that make him the Miles Morales and make him the Spider-Man that he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too specific beyond that because, there's still Secret Wars issues and so forth. But all of your questions will be easily answered, and all of your fears allayed very, very quickly when we move into the new book.
Sure. And because you guys are making Miles and Peter coexist, is that what has you so excited for the potential of them possibly being together in a movie?
Well, for me, it's all about publishing.
Sure.
The movies, can't wait to see them, but they don't listen to me anyway. The most important thing is we put out
He
comic
yells
books.
at the screen constantly,
Exactly.
and they don't change.
No, my note from the screenplays, where's the Black Panther? But anyway, long and short of it is it's fun. I think that what's exciting to me is that, a few years ago, we announced Miles Morales, and the internet went crazy. And if we'd believed him, this guy would have been a flop. But if people have embraced him, people have embraced Kamala Khan, the new Ms. Marvel. They've embraced the new female Thor. It's an exciting period of diversity in publishing where it's really the world outside your window that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and all the rest of those guys pioneered. So I'm very excited. And, like I said, the most exciting thing to me is seeing Miles. How can he coexist with Peter? What are the stories ahead?
Sure. Also, while we're talking about Spider-Man, Peter Parker, very different status quo. He's using Parker Industries and to be sort of a globe-spanning superhero while Miles stays at home to defend the streets. So what can you say about the new direction and the Alex Ross redesign?
Yeah. Alex Ross redesign. Nothing bad about that.
Yeah.
I think this is just the next stage of the kind of thing that Dan Slott's been doing all through his run on Spidey, which is kind of pushing that character into places and into directions that you might not have thought of and finding a way to still make them Spider-Man stories, Again, if we went by the internet reaction or the initial reaction, Superior Spider-Man would have been the biggest flop that we had. And instead it was a book that people just embraced, and by the time, particularly by the time it was over, even all the people that hated it at the beginning all kind of came out and went, yeah, that was pretty good. It was all right.
Well, they yelled at us for bringing Peter back.
Yeah. So I think this is the same kind of thing. It sounds on the surface of it like, that's crazy. That's not Spider-Man. That's not Peter Parker. That will never work. And that's kind of what's exciting about it. These are going to be Spider-Man stories that you haven't quite seen before, but they're going to be very much Spider-Man stories in the way that Dan and, in this case, Giuseppe Camuncoli have brought you in the past. So I think there's a lot of confidence there, hopefully, that people can have in that creative team. And it's a nice Alex Ross design. It's always cool to get Alex involved in stuff. And
for sure.
He's going to be doing covers. So it'll be a good-looking book. It's something.
Honestly, who are we to judge Dan Slott at this? Just get out of that guy's
He knows
way.
what he's talking about.
It's like, give Jordan the ball.
Yeah.
Give Jordan the ball.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thanks a lot for having us up.
Stay tuned. We still have a little bit more to show you from day 2 of IGN Live from Comic-Con right after this.
IGN Live at Comic-Con is presented by the all-new LG G4. See the great, Feel the Great, and Marvel's Ant-Man, in theaters July 17th.